just kind of share just a few moments of back looking at 2025. And again, I'm going to refer to how that our 2025 year started out. I'm sure that we was anticipating that there's going to be a lot of lost people that's going to come and get saved, and we see that. We want the congregation to have a greater desire to come and work for the Lord, and to be in the community to testify. It's great to come and testify among people that has got the same belief, the same congregation that you're in. But I'll just tell you, when you're out there in the world, it's a little more difficult. But we need to get the boldness once again to tell people about Jesus Christ in this year that we're coming for. We need a desire once again, and again, I was anticipating in this year that's coming, or this year that was just passed, I was anticipating that a lot more of our people that kind of drifted away from the Lord would begin to come back. That prodigal son that left out, he finally came to himself, and my prayer for the year 2025 was that people would finally come to themselves and see the road that they're heading on and get back on the path, on that straight and narrow path. But again, I'm not saying that I was disappointed, but in 2026, I'm going to have new hope. I've got a new excitement about what we're anticipating for this year coming up, and we, that's what we have to do. We have to continue not to get discouraged with things that's taking place in the world, so we can continue to come. So at the start of this brand new year, that's so many things that we hope for in 2025. It didn't come to pass. I don't want to just kind of say, well, it's not going to happen. I want to continue to have the hope that I've got, that we have trusting that the Lord is going to do for us. So today, as we have seen, that seems like that people is getting a restart, basically for kicking this brand new year off, and the excitement and the enthusiasm that it is. But I'll just tell you, the people that had troubles and heartaches and problems in 2025, just because the calendar rolled over to 2026 does not erase all them off. You're still going to have the situation. You're still going to have all the problems and troubles that goes through this life. But I'll just tell you, if we've got Jesus Christ, we've got access to get through anything that comes our way. And that's the hope that we've got. And I want to continue to have that hope in my life, that the Lord's going to be there with me with everything that's taking place. As I was thinking about what our expectations of 2025 was, we might have been discouraged to see that it didn't happen, didn't turn out the way that we anticipated it was going to, but still yet we're still here today, and we're still got the hope in the Lord with everything that's coming our way. I was going to share just a little bit of a parable that Jesus gave to the disciples, and Jesus explained all of his I guess his input that he was having with the disciples through a parable. He would explain something to the disciples and different things that he done, and he would explain it in something that was supposedly able to see what he was talking about. He would lay a plan out or tell something that this is what Jesus would do. But I'm going to tell you about a parable that Jesus gave about a man that was, I guess, a keeper of an orchard or whatever that it was. How that you would look at what his position was, but he was working for a guy that owned the orchard of the trees that was there in there, and this man, he came, the owner of the property that was overseeing, that had the fig tree grove or whatever it would have been classified as, said that he had come 3 years to try to see if there was going to be any figs on that tree that he had there in that row that was there. And so basically, he got discouraged. The owner of that place did, and he said, this is the third year, and this is how he reads it. Jesus gave this parable like this, and he said he spoke this parable to a certain man that had a fig tree, and he planted it in his vineyard, and he came and sought fruit thereon and found none. And he said unto that dresser, or the guy that was keeping the ground, he spoke to that guy in the vineyard, and he said, behold, these 3 years I have come seeking fruit on this tree, this particular tree right here. And he said, I find none, cut it down. Get it out of here. It's useless. But that dresser was so compassionate about that tree. And this is how that we need to, the people that has kind of drifted away from the Lord, and they're not bearing the fruit like they used to do. And you know, the people just says, push them out, shove them out. They're no use. But this dresser was so concerned about that tree. And I said, this was a parable. He was giving it in an illustration of something that people could relate to. And he said, I've come 3 years and I've not found any fruit on this tree. Cut it down. It don't have any purpose whatsoever. It's just taking up ground here. So this is how that dresser came and addressed it. And he said, this is what he done. I've come and I've found no fruit on it. I want you to cut it down. And he said, why cumbereth hit the ground? It's just standing here, a useless piece of just in the way of taking up space. And he answered and said unto him, Lord, let it alone one more year, this year also, if you will. Give it another chance. And that's what this world, the sinner people that's out there in this world, needs another chance. Lord, don't cast them away yet. Don't throw them in that burn pile yet. Give them one more opportunity that they'll come. And that's what I'm thinking that 2026 and our desire that we've got to have is, Lord, give them sinner people one more opportunity. Let them have one more chance that they'll come, just like this tree. And I said, this was a parable that he is trying to explain that this is what this means. Give it one more season. Give it another year, Lord, and see if it's possibly it will. And so out of this, we're seeing that Jesus, or this dresser that was here, he was the one that had compassion about that tree enough. He said, Lord, let me see if I can do something for it. And he answered and said unto him, Lord, let it alone this year until I shall dig about it, and I'll dung it. And if it bear fruit, no fruit, then after that thou shalt cut it down. It'll finally come to the point that sinner people has had opportunity after opportunity to come to the Lord, and the Lord has knocked at their heart. He's dealt with their spirit and tried his best to reach people out. And I said, we just sensed just a few minutes ago that there was a draw of the Lord. It's something that we can sense. We feel this, that draw of the Lord to come to him while he may be found. Seek him while he's near. And so if you'll do that, the opportunity is there. But it'll finally come time in people's lives that there's not going to be another opportunity. That last call will finally come into sinner people's lives, and they turn it away one more time. This dresser of this orchard, of this field that was here, he had compassion on that tree. And I said, we'll illustrate that tree as a human being. He had compassion for it. He said, let us give it another year. I'll work with it. I'll do my best. And that's what we need to do. Our sinner people, our families and stuff that's out there in this world, we as dressers of watching over them, we need to continue to do that. We need to continue to try to, to fertilize around them, to try to be a brighter light to them, that they can see that they desperately need the Lord in this year that's coming up. And we have got hope that we can do that. And if we'll do that, I'll just tell you, we'll see the results of it at the end of the year. This tree that was there, that was not bearing any fruit, how unfortunate it was. That dresser, he pleaded for it to have just another year. Give it another chance, Lord. And the Lord gave it another chance, or the keeper of that field kept it and let it have another chance. This is the thing I said that's probably worse than the dresser that was filled. We, as Christian people, give up hope on our families if we're not careful. We've pleaded, we've asked, we've sought after, we've tried our best to tell them to come to the Lord, come and get saved, and it finally gets to where it don't have an impact, and we feel like that we're not having much of an influence on them. But in the book of Romans, it spoke about it like this, and that plea that's going out for people to come to the Lord is because we have got the hope that we've got in us. He said, therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace of God through our Lord Jesus Christ, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace, wherein we stand and rejoice in hope in the glory of God. And not only so, but we glory in the tribulations, the things that's taking place. And I know that that's a hard saying that we do, knowing that tribulations works patience with us. And in our patience, it tells me that we possess our souls. So we got to have patience in this thing. And out of this, we are knowing that through the patience that we've got, patience works experience, and experience gives us hope. And out of that, hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us. For when we were yet without strength, in due time, Christ died for the ungodly. Scarcely for a righteous man would one die, but peradventure for a good man some would even dare to die. But God commendeth his love toward us, in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for the ungodly. Now, folks, I'll just tell you, if that's not a welcome into that throne, I don't know what it would take. You think about what the sacrifice that the God that created the heavens and the earth also gave that Son of his, that we could have hope that when we die, that we're going to go to that place that he went to prepare for us. I said it's so unfortunate that a lot of people gives up hope. A lot of times, they give up hope prematurely. They just about the time that the thing was getting ready to turn loose, they just kind of gave up hope on it. But I'm just telling you, we need to have hope, because we lose the hope and we lose that ability to continue to seek the Lord and to continue to call upon him for the needs that we've got in our life. We've seen a lot of troubled things taking place in our world, in our nation today, and not only our nation, but around the world today. A lot of things, and people, it's easy for us to see why that we give up hope. It's been a long time since anybody sung this song, but there used to be a song that they would get up and sing when the invitation to the altar was given, and that song was, "Wait a little longer, please Jesus. Just a few more days to get our loved ones in." Do you know what the new song of the day is? "Come, Jesus, come." You don't hear much about "wait a little longer, please Jesus." Christian people has got to the point that our new song that we're singing when we get up, and it has become a blessing to me to hear that song. The "wait a little longer" was just fine and dandy, but I think the Lord he's give ample time for that sinner to come and give his heart and life to him. But today, I think that the generation that we're living in is beginning to cry out, "Come, Jesus, come." Why? Because of all the heartaches and the problems and troubles and tribulations and all the things that's taking place in our lives today. And how do we think that we're going to get out of them? The only hope that I think that we've got to get away from the troubles and trials of this life is for us to go to be where Jesus is. And I'm just telling you, heaven to me is sounding sweeter all the time. I don't know about you, but this world, I said, is just seems like it's collapsing just around us as we're, seeing all the things and the events that's taking place, but it's above what we're capable of stopping. But I'll just tell you, when the Lord gets that tap on his shoulder, Jesus Christ, God reaches over and he says, "Son, go get him. It's time to go get him, son." And I'll just tell you, he said, Jesus himself proclaimed, I don't even know what day that's going to be, what time that's going to be, but he said, "I will give you a few clues." And I'll just tell you, everything that he spoke about, we're seeing taking place in this day that we're living in. The clues was, he said, no man knows the day or the hour that the Son of Man is going to come. No, not even the angels and not even myself, he said, but the Father only. He's the only one that knows it. But he said, this is what's going to take place. Just prior to it, this is what he said, as it was in the days that we read about, we know about what the situations was, as it was back in them days, so shall it be when that coming of the Son of Man comes. But folks, I'll just tell you, 2026, let's take a new courage on life. Let's anticipate that what we're expecting the Lord to do, that he's going to do it for us. And I'll just tell you, if you want to get a restart in your life and you're in a sinner position, I can tell you how to get a restart. You come and ask the Lord to forgive you of the things that you've done in your life and in your past. And so help me, there will be something that takes place in your life that it calls, and this is how it explained it. You will be born again. And you get a restart. That's the only restart that I know of that we can possibly get. The restart in 2026 did not change nothing else. But if you come and give your heart, if you're a sinner and you come and give your heart and life to the Lord, you will absolutely get a restart in your life. You'll come with a brand new hope, and you'll start this year off just like with hope that you've got, that the things that was in the past is cast away from me. It tells me the distance is as far as the east is from the west, and they'll never be remembered against you again. All the things that we've done in this life is going to be cleaned up. The mess that we made out of ourselves in this life is cleaned up, and we get a brand new start. And that would be a better time I could not know of, starting that brand new year off in 2026 with a restart that God made possible for us. So if you don't think that you've got everything just exactly the way that it needed to be in 2025, I encourage you to restart. You remotivate yourself in our Christian walk. But if you're a sinner out there today, I'm encouraging you to get a restart like you've never experienced. I know what it is, folks. I came to the Lord and realized what it is to feel that burden of sin get lifted out of your life. And when you do that, I'll just tell you, you'll be a light to this lost and dying world. And that's what we was commissioned to do. So today we're so thankful for you coming. We're going to ask you to stand. We're going to give an opportunity to come to the altar today. And if you don't have the Lord in your life and you didn't get him in 2025, there would not be a better time to start it off than this first season of 2026 to come to the Lord while he can still yet be found. And we need to call on him while he's near. So thank you again. Happy New Year's to all of you. And we're so blessed to be part of this congregation today.